Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Hello and welcome back to What's on Tap podcast. I am your co-host Martin.
And I am your co-host Stefan.
And we are fortunate today,
because we're joined once again by Bjorn!
Yay!
Hello.
We're just waiting for the viewers to finish cheering. There, they might have gotten used to the fact that you're back.
Yeah, I love to be back.
That's great. We love you.
I love when you have me on the show.
We also have beers.
We do have beers. We have two beers, and once again we have each
Bears
brought...
and beers.
Bears and beers. Bears with beers.
We brought one. I brought one, and you brought one, Stefan. Let's start with yours.
Okay, so I brought something from Equilibrium and District 96 called Sexual Fluctuation, and this is batch 6. It is a double IPA coming in at 8%, and it says, help us ensure cold chain. Purchase cold, trade cold, keep cold. If it's not cold, ask why. You motherfuckers. And then I guess it was canned on January 21st, 2021.
Okay. Does it say... Do you know what the blend is? The hop blend?
No.
It's Citra. That's good.
I know, Stefan.
Nope.
Know what?
Galaxy.
Oh, man.
Why did we pick a Galaxy beer when Björn is
here?
here? Let's see if it kicks off Björn's Galaxy radar.
All right. Yeah. So just off the nose, are we feeling Galaxy?
I have a beef with Galaxy.
It does smell quite green.
Yes,
it's so green on the nose.
It smells yummy.
I think I'm going to like this.
Yes, I do too. Cheers. Guys.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Yeah, this looks like a classic Equilibrium double IPA. It's very hazy, golden colored.
I think it's going to kick off Björn's Galaxy gene, which he shares with Marcus of Frosty Beard Brewery.
Explain the Galaxy gene to us.
Well, it's this harsh green, unfinished.
Kind of like a raw hops kind of.
Yeah, it's still a bit too raw. It needs to settle a bit more. It's like chewing on some raw hops.
Okay.
But it's not going towards like freshly mowed grass or rotting fruit.
No, it's more. I used to
eat hops as a child.
Yeah,
you just get hot pellets and just like snack on them. Yeah, no, we've all been there.
I was locked in the basement, and I used to do the fantastic sport of orienteering.
Oh yes, of course.
When I was younger,
orienteering is basically map reading as a sport.
Yeah.
It's also running and map reading at the same time.
Yes,
in the forest. And I'm trying to find.
This is what you call a athletic nerd game because
fighting off wild animals.
Arrive the pocket knife.
Yes.
So I had my fair share of pine and stuff in my mouth, and it's this same raw kind of. I don't know the English word. Coda.
The thing that bleeds out of trees.
Yeah,
Sap.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a bit green, sappy, harsh.
All of these things you say appeal to me.
Yeah, I'm like you're just making me like this like more. It's like
pine, sap. Yes, please, more of that in my beer.
You should start orienteering.
The thing,
or I can just hit you in the face with pine needles. Same effect. You don't have to run.
So how is that different from any other time we meet?
It's not really.
The thing
it won't be tied to my penis.
The thing that keeps this beer down for me, it's gonna get a quite good rating.
Yes.
But the thing that keeps it from being an amazing beer is actually not any of this pine, sap, green stuff. It's the age-old taste reference of slightly overripe melon.
Yeah.
I don't get that at all.
I just want to say, with this beer, I was talking about the Galaxy in general.
Yes.
In this beer, it was very heavy on the Galaxy in the nose, but in the taste, I think the citrus are a bit more dominant than the Galaxy has sharpened off a bit. So I enjoy it. It doesn't have this harsh green note to it that Galaxy often can bring.
Aroma and taste are quite different in this beer.
Yeah, I think it smells great. I think it
I
tastes
understand
great.
what you're saying with the melon. It's a bit melony. I don't think it's overripe. No, but
Very sweet in the aftertaste.
I think for me that's just an equilibrium style. It's kind of a sweet. It's almost a double IPA kind of character. That's how I could tell like the beer that we tried on another episode. It was a double IPA because it was so sweet. I was like, oh, this is obviously double IPA because I mean that's just for me that's just a defining character trait of hazy beers these days is a certain level of sweetness to them. I believe that's what Pontus hates about them now is that they're too sweet.
Yeah.
But I think this is like the hop balance on this I find really, really pleasant.
And no one's made the joke that it's called Sexual Fluctuation and it's made with District 96.
Like I said, I thought it was called District 69 for the longest time, and I had to like physically just really look at it and focus on the numbers to realize it wasn't District 9. It wasn't that.
And 96 is when you've had a really big fight, right?
86 is when you kick someone out. So if you 86 someone, I mean you're like
When you're
or that's when you've gone back around the other way.
68 is you do me and I owe you one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
think I'm gonna give this beer a 4.
I think I'm gonna give this beer a 4.25.
Oh.
In fact, I know I'm gonna give this beer a 4.25.
I'm gonna give it a 4. It's good. It's not nothing special, but
yeah, I mean, if this was in a lineup of double IPAs, I wouldn't be able to pick it out because for me, all double IPAs basically taste the same these days. But I think this one is more drinkable than most. I think the carbonation balance is really good. I like the water on this. I think they've done really good chemical treatment of the water. I think it's really good.
I would want it to taste more like the aroma, actually.
no.
If not just to mess Björn up. But I like the aroma. I really like this. I can't explain it better.
Yeah, but I like the aftertaste. It's a little bit bitter and it's a little bit sweet. It's a little dry, I think, but overall, I find it to be quite an enjoyable beer where I just want to keep drinking it.
Exactly.
And for me, that's how I'm rating IPAs, double IPAs these days. Is do I want to drink more? Like, could I drink a whole can of this? And I'd be like, yeah, that was really good. And I felt like I could do that with this beer.
In the sunshine, I could drink this entire can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
No problem.
So the next beer, I brought a beer from a brewery that I don't think has ever been featured on What's on Tap.
That's not true. We featured them before.
I just did.
Did you do a quick shirt?
I just tried to search and I failed, but I might have searched for the wrong thing. Anyway, what I brought is a Hoppin Frog Pentuple, which is a Belgian style Pentuple at 15.4% ABV.
Sure, you must have reviewed Hoppin Frog.
I just can't find it. Maybe somewhere in the archives.
It wouldn't have been that long ago.
We will check after this episode, and we will not put it in the show notes.
Oh, no, of course not.
Because
That'd be stupid.
That is not our style.
We would never do that.
So the beer is quite light amber.
What we
Caramel
can say is this is the new beer. This new beer style is a Belgian Pentuple. It's just like a triple that's somewhat hoppy, light in color, and has a signature fruity and complex character. But our Pentuple is supercharged for more flavor and ultimately more enjoyment. I'll be the judge of that.
What was the ABV?
15.4.
15.4.
It smells so sweet.
Yeah.
But guys, what's more important is the original gravity was 1.149. I mean, that just tells you everything about the beer right there.
My sarcasm detector is going wild.
Because it is, yes.
But it's a quite high ABV.
Right, and when I think it's high ABV,
high original gravity.
right, and as not a brewer, that doesn't really tell me anything.
So when I made my failed imperial stout that became syrup, that had an OG of 1.2 something.
Yes.
So anything between 1.0 and 1.2 is like beer territory, and the closer you get to 1.2, the more undrinkable syrup you're starting to make.
This smells like straight up barley wine.
It very much smells like a strong barley wine. Mm-hmm. Caramel, sweetness.
Like a super boozy, gemolzlötel, like frozen, ice distilled, whatever beer.
I don't really agree. I think it's more of the quad, in the quad area.
Let's try it.
All right, cheers, guys. I do like I think it's a beautiful color.
Yeah.
It's so light.
Very, very clear amber.
Yeah. All right, Martin, what do you think?
Difficult to say. We're drinking it quite room temperature, intentionally. It's not as boozy as I was expecting from the label and the aroma.
No.
It's pretty boozy, man. There's a lot of alcohol in this, and it
Still has a harshness to it.
Yeah, but
in the finish, though. But I agree, not that boozy.
But it's the same booziness I would expect from a 9-10% barley wine.
Yeah, no, I mean, oh my god, this drink's like, kind of like cognac almost. It's got a bit of a boozy harshness or alcohol heat at the end. The upfront flavors are like caramel and raisin and sweetness. It doesn't make you like gag on the alcohol heat. It's
not at all.
It's insanely drinkable.
So now I'm looking at the back of the label. The original gravity is becoming more and more common knowledge because more and more brewers are starting to put it on their labels. And Nerd Brewing is a good example. What's also printed is the Degrees Plato.
Yes.
Which is the old Czech version of measuring gravity. That one is going the way of the dodo.
Yeah.
If you ask someone on the street how many degrees Plato is a good Pilsner, they would say, "Alright, stop harassing me, weird man."
Yeah, leave me alone, crazy person.
I would say 10.
This one is 34 degrees Plato.
Oh my god, that's crazy!
Wait,
sorry,
10 degrees Plato is a regular Pilsner, right? Yeah, because Björn is very knowledgeable.
He is very knowledgeable.
So some of the Czech beers are actually named with the degree Plato in their name.
A lot of them have the degrees Plato in their name.
Yeah, like we have the bar Pivo here in Malmö, 2 bars now, and they only have one Czech Pilsner on tap. That's the only beer you can get there, and they have the Unetichke Pivo, and I think it's the 10 that they have.
That's the 10.
And I think you can buy a 10 or a 12 pretty regularly. Yeah, they always have a 10. It's not a bad beer.
But this has 34, do you say that?
Yeah.
Wow.
But we don't know the scale.
No.
Is 20 twice as much? Because yes, this is probably 3 times as heavy as a Pilsner. Yes. I have no doubts about it.
Do you guys get like a tanginess? Like it's not really sour.
I was just going to say, you say tangy to avoid the word sour, right?
Exactly. Because it's not sour, but there's like this zesty...
Yeah.
It's not really citrus, but it's like I don't know how to...
Pomeranz?
Yeah, I know. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's one of those things where if you say, "Oh, it's very tangy" in English, it would be kind of covers a couple of different things at the same time. But it's a liveliness to it or a brightness to it that I wouldn't expect on this, because I would expect a lot of really mellow kind of caramel and raisin and really kind of heavy notes. But this is, I think it's very light and I wouldn't say refreshing, but it doesn't make you feel like it's about to just rock your world because it's 15%.
I agree, but this ties into what I said before. It's not as it's surprisingly non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
It's quite nice to you.
Yeah. All right, Bjorn, what would you give this?
I'm a bit torn.
Like Natalie Imbruglia?
Yes.
Whatever happened to her? Well, I would have liked more body to this beer.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's got a nice sweetness, not that boozy, according to the ABV. So weak 4, strong 375. I'm not sure yet.
I'm on the strong 4.
Yeah, I'm on a strong 4 as well.
I want to give it a 425, but I can't.
I would say I can almost give it a 425. I really like a lot of what's happening here. I think if it was a little bit more solidified as a style, I think it would probably get a 425 or maybe a 4.5. But it's a little unbalanced, a little all over the place. Yeah, I'm going to go a 4.
Actually, when we opened it, it wasn't fully room temperatured. It felt less room temperature than now. Mm-hmm. Now I've warmed it with my hand and stuff. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of butterscotch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that means it can't get over 4 for me.
Okay.
I
you hate Werther's Originals and you're just kind of like, fuck that grandpa candy shit.
So one, I don't like Werther's Original, but 2, I don't want butterscotch in my barley wines.
I like a little butterscotch with barley wine sometimes.
I want other things.
I must say it was nice trying Hoppin Frog again. Mm-hmm. It's been a while.
Yeah. I always enjoy Hoppin Frog.
I always enjoyed the Boris and the Doris and the
Touris.
Touris and so yeah, nice to try.
And there's been that annual Hoppin Frog release of all of those beers recently on the web shops. So that's nice to...
I don't buy much Hoppin Frog.
I don't either, because they're usually... Well, they're kind of expensive. Yeah, I mean, for they're good beers. I can't say I've ever had Hoppin Frog where I thought, well, this is just absolute garbage. But I've also been like, fuck, for that price I could buy something else. All right. Anything else?
I don't have anything else to say about this beer. But I bought it because the Pentuple is so new.
It's their own beer style, so...
Yes, but I mean for Hoppin Frog.
Oh.
When we mentioned the Boris and the Doris and stuff, they've been around for a number of years.
Yeah.
So now you're just buying new vintages, and when it comes to vintages, I don't find Hoppin Frog that exciting. I like the base beer, but I don't think
I agree. I don't think they age that well.
That's part of it. Another part of it is actually that Hoppin Frog are so consistent that it feels like the same beer every year.
No, I kind of agree. Once you've checked it once, if someone was to bring it to a beer tasting, I'd be gladly let's do this. This is a great beer, but at the same time, I'm not going to go on my way to try the same beer a year later because you're going to get the exact same experience.
Exactly. Because as a ticker, there are 2 factors to consider. One is the tick, the database entry. Mm-hmm. Another is the new flavor. That's what we are going for. We want new experiences, new flavors. Mm-hmm. That's why vintages are fun, because breweries that are not that consistent, you get a new experience. You see where they've come in their brewing journey. Have they gotten better, worse, etc.? But with Hoppin Frog, they are highly consistent. which is a good thing.
Yeah. It just speaks to the quality of the Hoppin Frog brand and what they're putting out. And there's a little brewery out of Akron, Ohio, who's made international inroads. So good on them. Okay, well, that was this week's episode. You can find us online at what'sontappodcast.com, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you can find fine quality podcasts. Until next time,